news. I'll take your thoughts on that. And by the way, we have other conversations that we will be having. You probably must have heard of the report. Loretta Onoche, she came out and said she is a bona fide member of the APC, and I'm wondering how does that confession affect our nomination as INEC commissioner. You stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM.
Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered on air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today 95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
All right, good morning. This is the World News at 7 on your premium talk radio. Today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Kala Dakurubativo. Let's begin with the headlines. Department of State Services invites Kaduna-based cleric Sheikh Ahmed Gumi for questioning. President Muhammadu Buhari postpones his medical trip to the United Kingdom. Rivers State Waste Management Agency announces cancellation of sanitation exercise for the month of June. On the foreign scene, tornado kills 5 people, injures more than 150 others in the Czech Republic. Stay tuned for the news in details. The Department of State Services says it has invited Kaduna-based cleric Sheikh Ahmed Gumi for questioning. The service's spokesman, Peter Afunaya, who revealed this to journalists on Friday, said it is not out of place for the service to invite any person of interest, although the DSS did not confirm the rationale for the invitation. But Sheikh Gumi, in a recent interview, alleged that some military operatives actively connive with bandits to wreak havoc on the country. Meanwhile, Sheikh Gumi has refuted the reports that he was invited or questioned by the DSS. He said his actions are done with the knowledge of security agencies.
I go there with full security, with the police, with the knowledge of the SS, with the government officials, with the traditional rulers, and with the full administrators. I never went alone. So all along, I've been doing with the government, and there is not any difference between us and the authority. So people should have their peace.
The Borno State Commissioner for Health, Juliana Bitrus, has queried the provost of the College of Nursing and Midwifery, Rakia Mustafa, for suspending 20 students who disobeyed an executive order that required them to welcome President Muhammadu Buhari during his last visit to the state. In a letter addressed to the Provost School of Nursing and Midwifery, the commissioner distanced the state government from the actions of Mustafa and accused her of being mischievous and acting on her own accord. The commissioner said even though it is a normal practice that students join in welcoming visiting presidents all over Nigeria, such acts are voluntary. The commissioner said the action of the provost is a ploy to embarrass the state government. The medical visit of President Muhammadu Buhari to the United Kingdom, earlier scheduled for Friday, has been postponed. This is according to a short statement by the President's Special Advisor on Media Publicity, Femi Adesina. According to Adesina, a new date will be announced in due course. No reason was given for the postponement of the trip. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Atuonwo Obina as chairman and the reappointment of Abdulkader Saidu as the executive secretary of the Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency. There are indications that the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee of the ruling All Progressives Congress has secured another extension for the committee. The party is also set to release the formal timetable for the Congresses and the National Convention, which may hold in December. Reports said the decision for another extension was reached on Friday after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari and the Caretaker Committee members. Minority groups in Nigeria must now come together to form the majority. Former Senate President Iyorchia Ayu made the call while speaking as the special guest of honor at the commissioning of the Parboard Brewery's Oginiba Road in Port Harcourt on Friday. Your chair, who encouraged minority groups in the country not to be afraid of the majority groups, said with unity, the minorities will be able to rule Nigeria in the coming years.
I hope this relationship will be strengthened in other spheres so that at the end of the day, we will revive the special relationship that existed between your governor, Governor Okilo, and our late father, Apereku. Because we minorities must come together. We are actually in the majority. There's no reason to be afraid of anybody who calls himself a majority ethnic group in Nigeria. The real majorities are we, the minority nationalities. The problem is that we don't unite. Coming forward, we shall unite and make sure we rule this country effectively and give it the leadership it desires.
Rivers State Governor Yeso Wike says the only way to stifle opposition is by delivering projects to the people. The governor made the observation at the commissioning of the Parboard Brewery's Oginiba Road in Obiakpo local government area of the state on Friday. Governor Wike said his numerous projects across the state are gradually killing the All Progressives Congress in the state.
The way we want to kill APC in this state is not to beat them. No, we are killing them silently by rolling out projects upon the project. That is the only way you can stifle the opposition in your state. Showcase that you have something to do better than them. And the only way you can expose a previous administration is by you doing things that even at the time that the economic crisis, when they were empowered, there was no economic crisis. So much money was coming to the state and we saw little or nothing. But now we have economic crisis. We are seeing more. That is to say that we are managing our resources prudently than what they were doing. If we could do this when the entire national economy is in distress, then what would have happened if we had the money and they have them? Then here would have been a different place.
The governor also warned truck owners who often park on the roadside against the practice, threatening to seize the trucks if it continues.
All of you who are businessmen, trailers, let me just warn now. If I see trailers again parking on this road, I'm just saying it now. So those of you who carry propaganda, because we are from social place, I don't care. I don't care. Whatever year we come from, the man fire coming from somewhere does not give you privilege to carry trailer block a road. Here is not for market. So if you are here thinking that we have done road for you to carry your trailers and come and block here, come and tell me story, because we are from social place. That's why they want, if you like, go and say whatever you want to say. They must be done well. We must do things like human beings. Look at how the road is now open. Don't you like it? In the next 2 days now, you see they'll carry all their tankers and cover the whole place. Bring their tanker, I'll seize it.
On his part, a former Senate President, Yochia Ayu, who commissioned the project, said Governor Wike has made the People's Democratic Party very proud.
Those of us who initiated what is today the People's Democratic Party, and I want, for those who don't know, we were only 9 people. After years of military rule and very poor development, 9 of us met in Lagos under the leadership of Dr. Alex Ekweme, and we initiated what is today the People's Democratic Party. I think 6 of those 9 have gone to the great beyond. 3 of us are still alive. Myself, Sule Lamido, and Professor Jerry Gana. I think those who have gone to the great beyond will certainly be proud of Nielsen Wike's achievement.
Rivers State Deputy Governor Palibai Ribanigo has urged members of the task force on immunization and primary health care not to let your guard down in the quest to eradicate vaccine-preventable diseases in the state. Aribanigo stated this at the second quarterly meeting of the Rivers State Task Force on Immunization and Primary Health Care at the Government House in Port Harcourt on Friday, insisting that the state does not need to relax its strategy. In a statement by the head of press unit, Upele Beniba, the deputy governor said what is needed is to be resilient in the face of COVID-19 in order not to experience resurgence. Harry Banigo, who is also the chairman of the Rivers State Task Force on Immunization and Primary Health Care, reiterated Governor Wike's commitment to continue to give the Rivers people the best in healthcare delivery. The People's Democratic Party and its candidate in Degema local government area, Michael John Williams, have opened their defense before the Rivers State Local Government Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Port Harcourt. Speaking from the witness box, the elected Degema Council Chairman In the April 17, 2021 local government election, Michael John Williams maintained that the election held in all the 130 units of the 17 wards in that election. John Williams, who has already been sworn into office as the executive chairman of Degima, told the tribunal that he overwhelmingly won the election with over 21,000 votes. The three-man panel of the tribunal, led by Chief Magistrate Rita Ogugwo, after listening to the witness, adjourned till Monday, June 28, 2021 for continuation of hearing. Today FM's Uchendu Ejewa reports that the tribunal also adjourned till Friday, July 2 to hear the preliminary objection raised by the PDP and its candidate Vincent Job in a suit filed by the candidate of the Action Democratic Congress ADC, Bright Abali, for Ogba Egbema Indone local government area. The Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, has convicted and sentenced two persons identified as Ejike Chikamso and Ingbe Alex Ifanyichuku to 2 years imprisonment for impersonation. Trial judge Justice S.D. Palm convicted Alex Ifanyichuku after pleading guilty to one count separate charges following their arraignment by the Port Harcourt Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. According to the two separate charges, Ejike Chikamso had sometime in March 2020 in Port Harcourt fraudulently impersonated one Elvis Rodriguez with intent to gain advantage of him. Ingbe Alex Ifanyichuku on the spot had in January 2021 committed a felony to wit when he attempted to impersonate a unique identification feature of a white man to fraudulently gain advantage using a WhatsApp line. Justice Palm convicted and sentenced the defendants to 2 years imprisonment with an option of fine of 500,000 naira, and also ordered that the devices, including a technophone and a laptop used in committing the offense, be forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria. The judge further ordered that the convicts should make a restitution of $200 to the victim. The regent of Ekwe ethnic nationality in the East and West local government area of Rivers State, His Majesty Felix Otuariko, has advised the newly sworn-in local government chairman to take a broader look into community affairs. Inye Udu Upata Felix, in an interview with Today FM Sandra Kenneth, made a case for community policies to be fully implemented by local government administration, adding that it is their duty to ensure an enabling environment for their people. Eze Felix also advised that development should not be centered only at council headquarters.
The two chairmen has their first tenure carried out some development programs for the people of Ekwe land. And during the second tenure, I would want them to take a broader look into community affairs. The development should not center at local government headquarters. I would want them to extend their development to the communities. Communities are opened up. It gives opportunity for those engaging in micro and small businesses to expand their business and make profit. And that equally will lead to decongesting the city centers. Nobody envisages that government should provide all the jobs. The local government should create that enabling environment for entrepreneurs at the village level to operate and feed themselves without necessarily falling back on the government.
The interim administrator, Presidential Amnesty Program, retired Colonel Milan Dikio, says the selection process for the program scholarship scheme must be based on merit. Retired Colonel Dikio spoke when he led delegates of PAP to a tour of facilities in the Bayelsa State Medical University in Yenagoa, where he explained that the beneficiaries of the scheme must compete for placements in the best universities. The Amnesty boss, while addressing the management of the university, said the tour was designed to assess the capacity of the institution to train some beneficiaries of the PAP as health professionals. Today FM's Uchendu Ejewa reports that Dikio, who also spoke to some of the beneficiaries of the scheme in the university, advised the youths in the Niger Delta region to strive for excellence in their chosen careers. On his part, the Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Ebitimi Sula Nicholas, expressed gratitude to the PAP coordinator for the visit and assuring him of the institution's readiness to provide the students with modern medical knowledge and skills to give them an edge over other graduates in the labor markets. A military gunboat was on Friday reportedly engulfed by strange fire along Bonny waterways in Bonny local government area of Rivers State. A boat operator at Bonny Waterside who confirmed the incident said they noticed the fire not long after the boat left the jetty. No casualty was however recorded in the incident as occupants were able to escape with the help of a speedboat. The cause of the fire, which burned down the gunboat, is yet to be made public. You are listening to the world news at 7 on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After this break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Please stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
You're still listening to the world news at 7 on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. Welcome back now to the rest of the bulletin. The monthly sanitation exercise for the month of June, earlier billed to hold across the state tomorrow or today, has been cancelled. The sole administrator of River State Waste Management Agency, Felix Obwa, in a statement issued by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Jerry Nidam, noted that the cancellation was due to very important government activities holding in the state. He said in spite of the cancellation of the statewide sanitation exercise for this month, residents and those doing business in the state should sustain the healthy habit of keeping their surroundings clean, while urging members of the public to observe the dumping hours of 6 p.m. to 12 midnight daily to dump their refuse at Rewama-approved receptacles. Obwa warned that residents who continue to dump waste on the median would be arrested and prosecuted. The federal government, or the Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA, has explained why it cannot immediately fix the National Assembly leaking roof or do a total rehabilitation of the complex, saying the contract for the project is currently undergoing procurement processes. Head Public Relations and Information at the FCDA, Richard Undul, who came up with this in a statement on Friday, however, blamed the leakage on blockages of drainages leading to seepage of water through expansion joints in the roof slab. The FCDA had come under intense scrutiny and condemnation in some quarters following the embarrassing situation midweek when senators abruptly suspended sitting after flood caused by rain affected the chamber. On the foreign scene, a tornado has swept through several villages in the Czech Republic, killing 5 people and leaving more than 150 others injured. Thursday night storm blew the roofs off buildings in the southeastern Břeclav and Odonín districts, uprooting trees and overturning cars. Winds of at least 219 km per hour were recorded, and the war-hit areas were said to look like a war zone. The government said around 1,000 homes had been affected, and local authorities were working to provide accommodation for people whose roofs had been destroyed. In sports, the grandson of boxing icon Muhammad Ali will make his professional debut on the 14th of August. Nico Ali Walsh has signed with American promoter Bob Arum, who promoted 27 of his grandfather's fights. The 20-year-old is expected to combine the start of his professional journey with a final year of study for a business degree. In entertainment, it looks like Duncan Mighty may have found love again as the music star took to his Instagram page on Thursday to share a video of himself kissing a yet-to-be-identified lady. It is not clear if the music star has officially called it quits with his estranged wife, Vivian. Recall that the singer accused his estranged wife of trying to kill him. He accused the mother of his children and a family of poisoning him for 2 years. The singer, popularly known as Port Harcourt Firstborn, also accused his estranged wife of cheating on him and revealed that their last child was not his. To end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. The Department of State Services said it has invited Kaduna-based cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi for questioning. President Muhammadu Buhari has postponed his medical trip to the United Kingdom. River State Waste Management Agency has announced that the sanitation exercise for the month of June will no longer hold. On the foreign scene, tornado has killed 5 people and injured more than 150 others in the Czech Republic. That was the news as edited by Onyekachi Wosu. For comments and inquiries, please call 0818-389-2850 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. Do not forget, take responsibility. Wash your hands on the regular with soap and running water. Alternatively, have with you at all times alcohol-based and sanitizers. Avoid touching your face and eye contact surfaces to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Good morning, I am Kalada Kurubatubor. Stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Baba God, now your hand working. Now your hand working. I say,
8 years ago, we made you a promise of total.
now your hand working. I say,
8 years ago, we made you a promise of total dissemination without any shadow of doubt or contradiction. It's been days, months, years of fulfilling that promise. And as we celebrate, we want to use this opportunity to thank every one of you who have been part and parcel of Today 95.1 FM. We want to promise you that we would continue to do this and even more. Stay glued to this dial and stand a chance to win amazing prizes, including phones, cash prizes, and even a trip to Kenya, Zanzibar, or Dubai, even as we journey into the next 8 years. Today 95.1 FM remains your numero uno. Happy 8th anniversary, Today 95.1 FM.
For your speaker, this time I call trap seat for assistance. Shall we deploy your mind, Afghanistan? Kilo me, kilo me, kilo me, kilo me, kilo me, kilo me, kilo.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
All right, which way Nigeria? That's what we're trying to figure out this morning. If you're just joining us, you probably have not missed out much. 23 minutes gone past the hour of 7. The brand remains Today 95.1 FM. I am Kalada, and I like to think of myself as the man of the people. All right, we started the conversation a little bit late in the 6 o'clock hour, and we were making reference to a conversation from last weekend where the president was saying, no, not under my administration. I would not restructure Nigeria. Those calling for restructuring are naive and they are mischievous. He said they are dangerous people asking for what is going to probably divide Nigeria. Because that is the tone I got. It got. How do I put it? I got the vibe that the president was likening restructuring calls for secessionist calls. But however, you will tell me, because the president said that those asking for restructuring don't even know what restructuring means. So you will tell me, what is restructuring? Does Nigeria as a country, as we are right about now, do we need restructuring? Looking at the, how do I put it now? Looking at the issues, the plethora of issues that the country is bedeviled with, from insecurity in many parts of Nigeria to failing economy to education in a poor state as well. I mean, there are issues. There are issues. I hear the National Association of Resident Doctors are attempting another strike. ASU is attempting another strike. Ahmad Lawan, Senate President, is saying Nigeria is poor. I mean, the list is endless, right? And for things to be better, it means that we probably need to change our strategies. We need to change our formulas. We need to change our approaches. And isn't that what restructuring is all about? The evolution, the change. But the president says, no, Nigeria is okay the way it is. It's just that we have one or two criminal elements that we need to deal with. We need to deal with these things. And once we deal with it, you would understand that Nigeria is, it's, but basically the president will not restructure under this administration. And he's put out the argument, we don't need restructuring. Do you agree? Do you agree? If you do not agree, what is your definition of restructuring? How do we go by restructuring the country? That's a conversation that I'd like us to have this morning. The phone line 0817 0000951 and 0810 9510 951. Should we restructure? If yes, how do we restructure? But if you say we shouldn't restructure, why don't we need restructuring? You need to tell me that as well. I also want to look at it from the angle where if you read the report from Daily Post, the president was quoted as saying that there are many ethnicities in several states, like in states like Kaduna. There are different ethnic nationalities. There are the Igbos, there are Hausas, there are Fulanese. There are different people in that state, and he's saying who will represent them. And I'm wondering what does the president mean by who will represent these ethnic nationalities? Is he now saying that it will be difficult for different ethnic groups, no matter where they are in the state, to be fully represented in a national conversation? And that really got me bewildered. It got me in a state of confusion. Are we saying that as a nation, as a people, we cannot come together and have a conversation? So I'd like to hear from you, really. I'd like to take your views on this very issue. Do we need to restructure or not? Is restructuring a big deal? Is it not important? Is it not important? Is it something that Nigeria can do without? Or you think Nigeria really needs restructuring? Let's have that conversation. I'm sorry, I guess I sound a little bit off today. I think I've got this flu that will leave me. It almost made me, I didn't come for the show this morning. But I'm here and you're there. Let's have the conversation. The numbers once again 0817 0000951 and 0810 9510 951. All right, I will go and I'll take my first call now. 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Good morning, my name is Oscar.
Oscar, welcome.
Yes, I think talking about Nigeria restructuring, the question should be asked in the first place because Nigeria needs more than restructuring.
All right.
The president will not accept it, the allies will not accept it because they are benefiting from it. The common man is suffering. We have listed a lot of things that Nigeria is facing. And the president that is leading the country is saying that Nigeria does not need restructuring. Maybe he do not understand, so he should seek for advice. Because the people are protesting from the east, the west, north and south, protesting the same thing, and he says there is nothing like that. The president is ignorant of the people that is leading. Why didn't he travel to the United States, to London? Because he felt, I'm not even sure that he's Nigerian. Maybe he has left. Because the presidency is also in the truth. Nigeria needs restructuring, and we need more than restructuring.
Okay. Now, I have a question for you. If Nigeria needs restructuring, where should we restructure? How do we go about the restructuring?
there are laid down procedures that Nigeria really have. Every day we talk on radio.
Mm.
Those of you in the radio stations have lost your voice. You don't represent the people again.
Right.
You are afraid of saying one thing or the other.
Mm.
You know the truth. You live with us. You are not spirits. You are human beings. You pay house rent. You live in places. You live in community. You know what the problems are. When we talk, you shut us down. So most of us only listen to people, or sometimes we play ordinary music on our phone because we know that we are no longer protected by the government. We're not protected by our brothers. We're not protected by television stations, radio stations. Nothing else. Twitter is shut down, and they're saying that this country is in mess, man. This country is in mess.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Oscar. Literally, I've lost my voice. If you can hear me speak. All right, but I get what you're trying to say. But keep your calls coming in and let's have this conversation. 0817-000-0951 and 0810-951-0951. Do you think Nigeria needs to restructure? If you say yes, what is your definition of restructuring? Because looking at the report as seen on the Vanguard, the president said if you ask Nigerians about restructuring, they can't even tell you what it means. They can't even say what restructuring means. Is that really the case? Is it that we don't even know what we're asking about? What is restructuring? That's the question on the show this morning. And I was hoping that I could get, a lot of answers, so we can maybe pass a message to the president. Okay, this is what we think restructuring is. This is why we want restructuring. And this is why you should restructure. Because he's saying he will not restructure under his administration. 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name is Okoma Sunday. I'm calling you from Port Harcourt.
All right, Okoma Sunday, welcome.
Many a times when constitutional issue comes up, I've always tried to call into this your station, but I don't usually get to you. You see, if you look at Nigeria critically, you will realize that Nigeria has some very good, refined, and polished laws. But the challenge we have as a country is because we don't even, we don't even apply 40% of the laws that we have. Assuming the laws that Nigeria has, we try to even implement 80% being a pass mark. I tell you, like agitations, struggles, a call for succession that is coming here and there. You won't find any.
All right.
Take for instance, we are told that you don't detain somebody for 48 hours without charging the person to court and all that. Good. We also said that we have federal character in terms of appointment and all that. If these things were followed to the latter, where they balance the equation, balance the equity and all that, tell me who will call for succession.
Right.
But the challenge we have is that these laws are not obeyed. So are you telling me that if we restructure today, we will be able to start obeying our laws? There are some section of our citizens, being the first class citizens, so-called, the people in government, will then also be above the law? So, to me, let's even use 1 week to obey 100% of our law and see how Nigeria will look like before we go ahead to go for restructuring.
Okay. All right. So you are saying that we don't probably need restructuring because, I mean, we will be coming to a situation where we don't obey laws even if we restructure.
Yes. Let's use 1 week. Let's use 1 week and obey our laws first. So if we use 1 week and obey our laws and we'll see how the situation of Nigeria will look at, we can now know whether we have need for the restructuring or not.
All right then. Thank you very much. Thank you very much there. He's calling for the restructuring of the mind. First, let's obey laws, he said, and then we can talk about, changing, aspects of or certain parts of the Constitution. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Keep your calls coming in. What do you think? Do you agree with the last caller? It's not about restructuring. It's not about changing laws. It's not about making laws. It's actually about obeying laws, and we have a plethora of laws that we do not obey, and probably that's the reason why we are where we are. 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Okay, I'm Solomon. I'm calling from Ahoda.
All right, all the way from Awoda. Solomon, welcome.
Yes, what I feel like, restructuring is the right way to go. And in going about it, I feel the restructuring should go from the senators at the federal levels, so that they won't be making laws that will suit themselves. They won't be above the law. And down to the states, make laws, put laws that will not protect the state as those in the hierarchy in the state. Then in the local government, those that will protect the local government autonomy. Then in the states, all the states of the federation, bring down those ministries that will develop the state.
But I understand you very well. But somebody, just called in, the last caller said that it even if you do all of these things, there will be the problem of the people in power obeying the law. You talk about local government. There is a law that gives autonomy to the local government, but do we really see autonomy for local government in any part of Nigeria? So maybe we want to have that argument. Maybe the president is right. Maybe it's not restructuring that we need. Maybe it is how we can make use of the laws that we have and obey them.
We should empower the House, the Assembly. There should be a strong institution.
Okay.
Strong institution that will empower the legislature as in staff. We have separation of powers now.
The
separation of powers are not working.
Okay.
So the strong institutions, like in the westernized world, like United States, all those things. Yeah, there are strong institutions that will make this local government, that will balance the separation of powers.
Okay. I get you. I get your point now. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I get his point now. His point is restructure so we can have strong institutions that will enable us obey the laws. Interesting conversations on the show this morning. 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Calada, this is Lawson.
Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep, Lawson.
I have to cut short my exercise, honestly.
Welcome on the show.
I have to cut short my exercise. Thank you. This thing will be saying it. This country, people just restructure. Change the constitution. Restructure. It's not those things are not the problem. The problem is that, you understand, just like the caller said, we don't even obey the laws. If we follow the law, you understand, most of these, look at the state governors. Free judiciary, they refuse. Free the state House of Assembly. No, it's in their even free, allow them financial freedom. No. But we have it in our laws. We keep thinking, where we don't look at the constitutions, them now, how many? You understand, each of the time, we keep saying change it, restructure, change the constitution. Look at the 1963 constitution that they are asking for. I am surprised because they are the ones, these same politicians are the ones that gathered, bring themselves together and went to Obasanjo in 1978 and asked Obasanjo, they don't want the 1963 constitution, that they want it changed. Besides, they don't want parliamentary system. They want a federal system of government. Obasanjo, it was because that Obasanjo came up with the constitution. Today now, the constitution is not good again.
Listen.
Let us go back to
Listen.
Yes.
The last caller said something that also did make sense to me. He said that maybe we should restructure in a way that we then have strong institutions, stronger than the politicians, stronger than the people, so that when the people err, the institutions can hold the people to account. That would mean stronger institutions to enable the obedience of the laws that we do have. What do you think about that?
That will not happen. Who are those, you understand, drawing up the constitution? It is the politicians.
No, come on now. Lost in a 2021 society, anybody who wants to draw up a constitution would have to carry the people along, and that's how it's going to be done.
That is what I am telling you, that there is a National Assembly in We are not just in some kind of vacuum. So everything you do must pass through the National Assembly. And if there is one characteristic about politicians is that they must do everything to preserve themselves. Underline it.
So
politicians will do anything to preserve
so restructuring is not possible, is what you're saying.
What I'm saying that what they are asking for is utopian. It cannot happen except all of these politicians you see. All of them will lift up their hands completely. There should be no government. It is the people that will come together, discuss, draw up the constitution before bringing them in.
Okay.
That's the only way to happen.
All right, then.
So long
People's
as there
Conference.
is a National Assembly in place, that will not happen.
All right, then. All right.
You understand?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Lawson, we've got to go. Thank you very much. Go back to your exercise. But stay tuned because more conversations coming your way. 95.1, we lost that one. Keep your calls coming in. Restructuring. President says it's a no. Some people have argued in his favor, and I think, they made sense. They have said that, we have an abundance of laws. We have a plethora of laws. And it's not about the laws. It's about, the people obeying the laws. I give you an instance. In Rivers State, for instance, don't trade on the roadside. It's a law, right? It's a Rivers State law, but people still do it. So, we have that proclivity of not obeying laws in the country. And so it's not about restructuring. It's just if we can obey the abundance of laws that we have, then maybe Nigeria will be better off. Maybe. Another person says, okay, you know what? That's a good argument, but let's restructure. Let's restructure so we have better institutions. The judiciary is autonomous and can deliver judgment for the common man, right? The legislative arm of government is not an appendage, and so it can actually checkmate the executive arm of government and, of course, make laws that are good for the people, of the people, by the people, and not good for politicians. So these are the arguments that we have been able to come up with on the show. One side saying, hey, yeah, there is the abundance of laws, and we don't obey them. That's why we are in the mud. The other saying, yes, we might have the abundance of laws, but we don't have the willpower to obey the law. So let's give us a strong institution that will enable us to obey laws. 95.1 FM, your name, your location, your contribution.
Good morning. My name is Abu.
Abu, welcome.
See, I don't understand what people say the restructure. What has happened to the 2014 confab that President Goodluck did? Nobody. I think it's because of our request that they made that confab now.
The confab has been criticized to not carry everybody along. There are some people who said no, they were not part of it. They did not like the formation. The committee the formation of the committee that oversaw that. There are so many criticisms. And so we now say, okay, since some people are complaining, maybe it's time for us to have another roundtable conversation, or don't you agree?
That one to be a waste of fun now, because I know even the opposition then was among the people that headed the whole stuff. So that is one. For me, restructuring or not restructuring, our way of doing things is not good.
Okay.
Look at this. Look at the NDDC, for example. Okay. People made a request. The people made the request. They complained. The NDC was enacted as a law. Now we have NDC, and there's a budget that was that is always voted for NDC. What have they achieved? During the COVID-19 period, that everybody was dying of hunger and struggle. They said they released billions of naira.
Yeah, they did. They did say that.
So where is the money? That man was busy fainting there. Where is the money? Has anybody feel the impact of it?
They said they gave you palliative now.
Who they give palliative? Who? You understand me now?
Yeah.
We have a lot of things that can make our life. If only we could just obey everybody. This is your position. Oh yeah, do your work. You are a policeman. Do your work. Don't be looking left and right. Just do your work.
Right.
You are an engineer. Do your work.
Right.
Don't because they give you an office that you want to now Maradona your way to bring out money.
So you are saying that we should first of all restructure our minds and attitudes. And
yes. See, Nigeria, we are not patriotic. You understand me? That you don't see anybody do something in the interest of Nigeria. When they talk, they say Nigeria is a project. So, we go collect your own. Come on, Nigeria is a project. What is all this? What are we going to leave for the people behind? To do a small project like this, it will be a problem. To do a small project like this, you see the money they vote for, and but the money is your money. The money you are stealing is Nigeria's. It's your money. You're not going anywhere. If you make life hard for people, you will still feel the impact of it. Look at the Lord. Okay. This hospital, money has been, you guys be president. Develop the place. They reduce what has happened today. Man came and they indoctrinated the whole place. Look at what we have to go today in the north. Chaos.
All right. Thank you very much for what a long rant there. And he saying the people, I think Bob Marley has a song in that direction as well, or in that narrative as well, where it talks about mental slavery. You must first of all emancipate yourself from mental slavery, because none can free you except you free yourself. But let's take this call. 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Good morning. My name is Michael.
Michael, welcome.
Yeah. Based on what we are doing, my question is, when will we stop talking and start practicing?
When would we stop talking
and start practicing?
Start practicing, all right? Action speaks louder than words. Like I believe that's what you're trying to say.
We've talked enough. We've talked enough. Every day, you can imagine that even the most poorest person who does not even have a cup of garri in his house want to contribute to the success of this country, but at the end, nothing comes out. It's a wasted resources so far. Look at the whole president. Every minute he's traveling to another country. Why are they not so shameless? Why would they
No, you're talking about shameless and shameful and all of that. But you've not, for we to get to that point of whether they should be shameless or shameful, whichever it is, you first of all would need to address what is restructuring, whether there is the need for restructuring.
What are we restructuring?
Okay.
What are we restructuring? Okay. When we talk about restructuring, what is restructuring? Doing things in a right way.
Okay.
Why can't we do things in the right way? The annoying part of the whole thing is that these people still call themselves leaders. What are you leading? What are you leading us for? You are leading us when you are doing things wrong. And you want people, when somebody does what is right, you kill the person. Tomorrow somebody will come and talk about those who are doing Yahoo. When they are the worst Yahoo. If the election is will soon come in, they will come and give people 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of beans, vote for us, after which that is over. And people are so stupid that some persons will come, you will not use hot water, prepare the hot water with pepper.
We don't subscribe to violence.
I know the area I'm looking at it. Hello.
I can hear you, but we don't subscribe to
I know
violence.
the area I'm looking at. I am not saying that it's a good character to display such, but it's so annoying. It's so boring to see such character. And yet tomorrow we keep shouting on air. And maybe as I'm here and I don't have food, but I have a little credit I manage. I now waste it. After wasting, nothing is working. Nothing is happening.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in. Says we must practice what we preach. It's time for Nigerians, but the government and the people to start doing and not just keep talking. All right. I'll take some more calls. But remember that the 8 o'clock hour, we will be expecting Dr. Okoye as we talk health-related issues. And that show will culminate by 10 when I come back into the studio. And I'm looking at Loretta Onoche's confession that she is an APC member and how that will affect, of course, what do you call it now? Our nomination, our appointment nomination as an INEC commissioner. And if we have more time, we will talk about the governor of Rivers State saying that is delivery of projects in the state has stifled the progress of the opposition parties, most particularly APC. And it says that killing the APC is not physically fighting them, is not physically bombarding them. It is just making sure that the state has got the kind of project is delivering. We will talk about that as well. And of course, you want to stay tuned for that conversation. But for now, I'm going back to the phone lines. 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yes, I'm calling from Marcos.
All right. What's your name?
This is for the scholar, on the question you asked what is the structure, and the president is saying Nigeria. I don't even know what.
No, he's saying Nigeria does not need restructuring. He would not restructure. Those calling for restructuring are naive and mischievous.
To me, what I will have to say is this. Sometimes, like the leaders, our leaders in this country, they hardly listen to people. So, like, I think the policy is government of the people, by the people, and people. We are there when they come. We go their campaigns. We listen to them. We have those that voted them there. But when they enter into that office, they fail to listen to us. When we are seeing things that they are wrong and we complain about it, they will not listen to us. Especially sometimes even in the radio where we have access to speak to them, because sometimes we may not go to the Astorok to talk to them. But the radio through which you have the access to reach them, sometimes when you say some certain things, the radio will shut you up and will stop you from saying
No, I need to correct that notion. The radio does not stop you from talking. It's the manner in which you put out what you're putting out that makes them stop you. If you see, there's nothing that you cannot talk about as long as you talk about it in a very, very respectful manner, and that's the truth. And you know it. There are certain languages that is not allowed on radio, and so you can't blame us when you're trying to use certain languages that can be seen as hate speech, that can be seen as offensive on radio, and that's the truth.
Okay. To me, if the president say we don't need restructuring, I think we need advice. We need to have conference meetings. Have to have meetings to poor people. There are people, educated people who are in this country to educate him on the need and purpose for the restructuring, the advantage of for restructuring. You understand the merits of the restructuring. There are a lot of things to gain from the restructuring. So you need to call on Nigeria. There are Nigerians, there are people in this country that will tell him the truth. But I got to say, especially from the judiciary, there are people there. Okay? So on the three arms of government, the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive, these three arms of government need, after restructuring, they need to be restructured.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
The National Assembly, where the laws are being made, most of the laws there, they need to send it to the people. When you make law, people need to be aware of those laws. You know that some there are so many Nigerians that don't even know the constitution of this country. There are so many. You need to let them know. You need to bring it out. Let them know that these laws exist. You understand?
All right.
And also in the employment from the executive who employs people, at least you have to make sure that the about 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria should be represented in your cabinet. Even in the employment of other heads of state, you know that they also are representatives to the people. It's not only people in the National Assembly that represent Nigeria.
All right.
There are people who work with the president also represent Nigeria.
All right,
if you have your brother as the chief of staff there, I think he represents people there. They also represent in the judiciary in where they are getting the laws that are being done by at least they should be independent, especially the appointment of the chief of judge and other people.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've got to go. You've had a long time there ranting, but keep your calls coming in if you're listening. We have about 6-7 minutes left on the clock, and we would have to wrap up this conversation for good. So, what do you think? We need restructuring or not? We need restructuring or not? 95.1 FM.
The man of the people.
Yes, I am the man of the people. What's your name?
This is the people's choice. Obina.
Obina, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yes, I have to keep away. Let me listen. So that, it will not be like I'm the one destroying the country.
All right. Do not destroy the country, please.
I've already made my research. I want to remind everybody, there's one man they call Yakubu Gowon. They went to Ghana, Aburi, to discuss about this same nation. And Yakubu Gowon is still alive. I want him to come and tell us what happened in Ghana that made him to change his mind.
But you see, the Aburi Accord is not what we are, or the act.
I know, because you mentioned about confab. You mentioned about confab.
No, I was not the one. Someone mentioned the confab, and I was explaining to the person.
Because when you are explaining the confab, I remember what Goodluck Jonathan said. Goodluck Jonathan is from Bayelsa. If you go to Bayelsa now and check the flood have come again with my brother. Do you know that currently the Nigerian Constitution did not favor the people from southeast, south? If you look at it well, we are drinking beer here, but somebody is collecting the tax in the north.
See, all these conversations we've had it times without number.
Yes.
But now, listen, we're not focusing on the problems. I already said and mentioned in the beginning that we have a plethora of issues bedeviling the country, and so maybe we need restructuring. Maybe we need to change our strategies. But what do you think? What do you think? You think we should change strategies, or you think the strategies is working, but the people are just being wicked, so to say, so as to stop it from working and make Nigeria great?
Kalada, you're a good man. Do you know that they have bad leaders in this country? Leadership. I think leadership is the problem.
Okay.
Leadership. If at all, I want to be neutral and sincere. If at all Nigeria have good leaders after the civil war, nobody will complain.
All right.
They have to develop. They have to do everything. You know that there was a free education when there was a missionary school. There was free education. Some of them attended those missionary schools. Restructuring is not the best, but the best is referendum.
All right. But when you say referendum, it's also part of restructuring. But thank you very much for calling in. Moving on now. I lost that one. Keep your calls coming in. Let's wrap up this conversation. Restructure or no restructure? 95.1 FM.
Good morning, Kalada. My name is Wilson.
Your name is?
Wilson.
Oh, Wilson, welcome. Wilson, talk to me.
For me, we have no problem. We don't have any problem. Problem is our leader who want to give us problem. Because the constitution is okay. There's nothing in that constitution that you will need that will not affect us. But one thing is that they don't want us to have the constitution work. Now, you go to the constitution, they will tell you that we have autonomy. The local government have autonomy. But they think local government will tell you they don't want autonomy. If you go to have autonomy, they will still tell you. Because last time I checked, Kalada,
I can hear you.
The president said, whatever the National Assembly do, just 2 days ago, he was saying to you, so for what restructuring or for what referendum, which will follow our leaders, the National Assembly members, to just do it, because the president would have sent to you. That is it. Not by talking this. I believe that Nigeria don't want to separate. We need to be one.
Thank you very much. But just to wrap up the conversation right about now, for those of you who are saying that we have laws, something just popped in my head. Yes, we have laws, but we have lacunas in these laws, holes at which people can decide not to obey the laws. 95.1 FM. Oh my.
Chief Dr. Kalada, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
It's Mr. Webb.
Mr. Webb, welcome.
Please, see, this issue of restructuring, there's nothing wrong with this constitution in as much as I'm concerned.
Interesting.
It's just that people are playing politics. That's my problem. Okay, look at governors will talk this, are they doing their own? They are not doing their own. Our local government chairman doing their own. The only thing they can talk about is, just like the state governor was talking the other day. You talk about having 52% of the federal government. Your own, have you been able to give account? He was addressing his fellow governors. Your own, have you been give account of your own?
Right.
Okay, look at the Niger Delta here. Are we giving account of our governors about the I think how many percent derivation? So the thing is just politics.
All
we
right.
don't want to. Okay, look at this issue of crying here. Is it not much here? It is much here. The governors not dictatorial in their approaches. Okay, we want to amend this issue of autonomy of the legislatures and the judiciary, and the governor now holding tight. Who was okay at the time? There was a talk around the whole country about local government autonomy. Yes, who forced the local government chairman or the local government and even to vote against it? So in fact, I don't. The problem in Nigeria is.
Mr. Webb, we gotta go. Thank you very much.
I just want to add a little.
Quickly, please. 30 seconds.
Okay. Look at I've just forgotten.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much, Mr. Webb. I'm gonna let you go there. That's too much we can take. More conversations coming your way, like I promised. We still have 2 political conversations to have on the morning show, God willing. Let's just stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM. For now, we're going over to Annie, I believe, and Dr. Okoye as they talk health-related issues. Stay tuned.